Hiya, pal. Let's check this out. Get it? Check it out because you're never going to be talking about a book. Okay, I see you there. All right, yo, what is up there, guys? Ed the Wiz back at it again with an Amphibia theory / discussion video right here, right now. So let's get right to it. All right, man, Amphibia left us with a lot to think about, but there's one thing in particular that stood out to me during the season 2 finale, and it's driving me kind of crazy. I'm of course talking about the book that Marcy discovered in the library titled Dr. P's Extraordinary Guide to Magic and Mystery, which contained information about the Calamity Box. So the big question, of course, is, whoa, who is the author of this book? Well, at this point, there's really only two possibilities, well, maybe three, and those being the pink frog, that was Andrias' friend, Pines from Gravity Falls, or possibly Sprig's parents. So let's go ahead and discuss. Alright, number one, and this is the one I'm leaning more towards, Gravity Falls. Now, realistically, it could only be Dipper or Ford, and I'm leaning a bit more towards Ford as he does have 12 PhDs, and that would fit the doctor part of the book. Another reason to believe that it could be a Pines is, of course, while Marcy was flipping through the book, we did see a page containing Bill's cipher. Not to mention the title of the book itself. It's called The Guide to Magic and Mystery. Yeah, that was kind of a big thing within Gravity Falls, but also, not to mention, when you look at Amphibia in general, it has been no stranger to references and cameos. We've had Cricket from Big City Greens, King Skull from the Owl House, Breath of the Wild armor, Super Saiyan blue hair, and the voices of many Gravity Falls characters like Mabel, Zeus, and Stan playing as other characters within the show. I guess at some point Ford or maybe Dipper simply published the book, and that's fine, but it will leave me a little salty since this looks like a potential great setup for it being a planter, which leads us to number two. I do believe that the pink frog that we see standing next to Andrias is indeed an ancestor of Sprig. While we have no idea if she's actually a doctor or not, we do know that there are, of course, other worlds, and it's entirely possible that during her travels, well, more like hostile takeovers, she could have had a journal or book where she would write about her travels. I mean, going to other worlds? Yeah, sounds like you would see some magic and mystery, and the Bill Cipher thing could have just been a fun, small little cameo like they have been doing throughout the series so far. But how did the book end up in the library? Good question. Either she somehow managed to publish books. I mean, she could have been in disguise on Earth and maybe she just added the title Doctor to sound more legit. And not to mention, the book does look a bit run down, which makes sense since according to the king, his time with her went down about like 1,000 years ago. But if their relationship was 1,000 years ago, I don't think libraries existed back then. Unless this book is just a one and only copy and it eventually just found its way to the library. But then again, if Andrias could live that long for 1,000 years, who's to say that the pink frog girl can't live that long? Unless the monster downstairs was keeping Andrias alive longer. Bro, there's so many variables to consider here. This is why I'm really leaning towards it being a Pines. But of course, there is the possibility that maybe Dr. P is referring to Sprig's parents. I'm kind of iffy on them being doctors, as it seems like planters were more on the bottom of the economic barrel, seeing as how Hop Hop has always been crazy trying to get that health insurance. And if that's the case, I don't really see Sprig's parents writing a book about magic and mysteries. If anything, perhaps it was a book that they simply had and took it with them. After all, Hop Hop does have a book as well about the Calamity Box, and don't even get me started on where that book came from. But who knows, maybe they could have been in disguise and just took the name Doctor and somehow the book managed to get into the library? Maybe they got captured by the governments and that's why the music box and the book was left unintended. Well, I mean, that is if they're still alive, because, you know, we don't really know if they are alive. I mean, according to Hop Hop, they died from the heroin attack where their bodies were nowhere to be found. So he basically just kind of assumed they got killed, which is completely understandable, but like many people, including myself, I kind of feel like they could still possibly be alive. See, this is why this Dr. P thing is driving me absolutely crazy, because this could be a big hint towards maybe Sprig's parents parents being alive. But guys, that is basically it for this video. Who is Dr. P? Once again, I'm personally leaning more towards it being Ford. Dr. P being a planter is entirely possible, but like I said earlier, there are so many variables to consider. It being a Pines just makes it simple and clean. So guys, what I want to know in the comment section below is, who do you think Dr. P is? Is it Sprig's parents? Is it Ford Pines? Or is it Sprig's ancestors? Only time will tell, and I'm going to be going crazy. So guys, leave all your comments in the comment section below. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a big, massive thumbs up. Helps me and the channel out quite immensely. On already, you can follow me on my Twitter. Same thing as my YouTube channel, EdTheWiz, Instagram, MattSwag12345, where I post all the good stuff. Discord, link will be in the description below. So until next time, guys, I'm going to go ahead and say, bye, pal. We'll see ya real soon.